first question we ask people is, do you have hard copy paper storage? Because storage now in the digital age can be different things, right?
Yeah.
So we're very specific about hard copy paper storage, things that you would put into file cabinets, and then it goes from the file cabinets to the boxes. Once it goes from the file cabinets to the boxes, that's where we want to get involved, right? Because you have to put those boxes somewhere. We offer a really safe, secure location, and we work like Amazon Prime.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Well, thanks for joining us today on Business Ninjas. We appreciate you stopping by and coming on the show. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Why don't we start by getting both your names and your roles inside of the company, the name of the company and the website.
Corodata, the website is corodata.com. I'm a sales manager here, and my name is Jack Appleton.
Great. All right. And where are you guys based?
Locations throughout California. So we started in Southern California. The name Coro comes from Coronado in San Diego. So it was Coronado Van and Storage, a little bit about our history. And we started as a moving company, and it's a family-owned business. So we have locations in San Diego and then up in the Orange County, LA area, San Jose, and then San Francisco.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. And was it just a northward progression as the company grew, kind of expand the territory as you go sort of thing?
It was. It started, the family that owns it, there's three brothers that own the company right now. Their father was in San Diego, and then he just kind of pushed the business north to San Francisco. And I think because one of the sons wanted to live in San Francisco, and then he had other sons that wanted to be in Southern California. So they kind of had this network of locations, and then those locations went from a moving company into a storage company. We used to be Corovan Records Management. And then because of just wanting to separate the companies and separate liabilities, we became Corodata Records Management. Corovan Moving is still an ongoing enterprise, but it's run by one of the brothers or two of the brothers, and then one of the brothers is on the Corodata side.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe you can give us a little bit of a bio, a career arc that brought you to the present opportunity.
I'm sorry, that brought me here?
Yeah, exactly. What were you doing before?
One of the brothers I went to high school with, and we were just friends. And so I moved, went to school in Santa Barbara, wanted to live in the Bay Area, and then just started working here part-time while I was looking for a job. And then the part-time turned into full-time. And it was really it was more of an entrepreneurial opportunity. We literally weren't doing the record storage in the north. We were doing it in San Diego. And my boss, Bob Schmitz, had come to me and said, "Hey, how would you like to start this business up here?" And so that's what got me energized, and I've been here for 30 years.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like you were very energized for 30 years. That's great. And so records management, what would the elevator pitch be for people that know nothing about it, to kind of give them context around what types you deal with and, how long people store things for, et cetera?
The first question we ask people is, do you have hard copy paper storage? Because storage now in the digital age can be different things, right?
Yeah.
So we're very specific about hard copy paper storage, things that you would put into file cabinets, and then it goes from the file cabinets to the boxes. Once it goes from the file cabinets to the boxes, that's where we want to get involved, right? Because you have to put those boxes somewhere. We offer a really safe, secure location, and we work like Amazon Prime. So call up, ask for the box. Tomorrow it's going to show up at your doorstep. And so we do all the work. And then for that, it's very economical as opposed to doing it yourself, because typically the options are, I'm going to put it somewhere in my office, I'm going to put it in the basement, I'm going to put it in self-storage, or you would use a vendor. And if you are using a vendor, I would encourage you to get a price comparison, because in terms of the market, specifically in California, we're very price competitive.
Okay, interesting. And are there certain industries that you have a greater presence in than others?
Absolutely. So we keep track of all the people that we do business with in terms of industry, and the legal industry is very big. cities, municipalities are very big. Healthcare is very big. Financial is very big. So there's certain industries that traditionally produce a lot of paper records,
Yeah.
and title companies, insurance companies. And so we tend to migrate towards them. But then you're always surprised. There's always an industry or two that, maybe you didn't know about. We do a lot of car dealerships. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And then within certain markets, like Los Angeles has a lot in the entertainment industry. And so they're big users of some of our services.
Okay. Wow. All right. And I mean, I guess that makes me wonder, do you oftentimes have like firms that have multiple offices that you're dealing with up and down the state that have the same need, or do the records end up centralized in one core location before you engage with them?
We try to ask the question, who uses the records? Where would the records need to be delivered to? So we try to stay in the local market. To your point, though, we love to sell one office and then use it as an entry point to sell the other offices. So it's very common to have a law firm in San Francisco and do service for that law firm in Orange County, Los Angeles, and San Diego,
Right. Okay.
because they can have 4 locations. So we try to take advantage of that. The records are stored locally so that if it was a delivery in Los Angeles, it would be easy to get to. Now we also have scan on demand, which has changed things. So we could have records in Northern California. We could scan those, and then it would be downloadable for someone in a location where they couldn't get a physical delivery.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. And how do you said that you differentiate definitely on price competition, but are there other features where you're doing things that separate you out from the rest of the market?
Yeah, on the customer service side, there's a lot of push to offshore things or reduce the human contact, and we've made a conscious effort to say no. People like talking to people, especially if there's a certain level of frustration or they need something immediately. There's just something comforting to talking to someone who's sitting next to where the records are. And so we've kept the customer service, and which is basically that human interaction, where a lot of companies have kind of moved away from it and made it more difficult to talk to a person. And it's more expensive. People are expensive, but we think that adds a value that our competition doesn't have.
Right. Okay. And I'm wondering, across the industries that you service, is there sort of a defining characteristic for what an ideal customer looks like? Is it like a certain head count? Is it like a certain stage of the company? Or is it just, hey, if you're in this business, you're going to have this need?
Yeah, it varies. Head count, you could have, we have offices with one attorney, and that one attorney has a lot of boxes, and they might be stuck in his garage, and he wants his garage back.
Right. Right.
So I mean, that has happened. So it could be a doctor, but typically they're companies that generate paper, that are more kind of paper oriented in terms of their record keeping.
Yeah.
And again, legal, healthcare, and some of those are changing a little bit, but they still do produce a lot of paper. So headcount can be a little misleading, but I think if it's a low headcount, then it needs to be in a specific industry, which typically is accountants, lawyers would be. If it's a high headcount, then typically they might even have an internal legal counsel within their company. And so it's almost like a law firm operating inside a different company. Like like a company like Intel or Apple, they have their own legal department, which is actually like a small law firm. And those small law firms within that entity will produce a lot of boxes.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow. All right. And what social media channels are you active on, so folks know where to find you?
I would throw that over to V. V, what are all the social channels that we're in?
We are on LinkedIn, Twitter, and also Facebook. Right now, we're producing a lot of different content on LinkedIn, downloadable guides. This morning, I actually sent out a whole guidelines for business retention schedule, and that has been a huge content for a lot of businesses that wants to utilize. So we just sent out a downloadable guide on there right now, and it's been working really well for a lot of people. But yeah, I would say those 3 channels.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks for spending the time and coming on the show. It was great to learn about where you're where you've been and where you're headed for the rest of the year. So it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the year goes for you, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Great. We appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet.
For your time.
You bet.